Hey, what's going on YouTube? Alabama Reloader here. So the beginning portion of this video is going to be a little bit shorter than normal. I've already processed my brass and everything. I've pretty much dumped my powder charges. Now I'm just to the point where I'm going to be seating bullets. But what I want to talk about specifically is the bullet that I'll be shooting. This is a test that I'm doing in my CVA Cascade. It's chambered in .308 Winchester. And if you guys saw the other video that I just posted talking about this particular bullet in 6.5 Creedmoor, it's the 140 grain version, having some good results with that and that initial testing. Now I want to give these a try in .308. Now actually a long time ago, I picked up that box. So in the .308 diameter, they have 172 grain version and they have 190 grain version. Now, I picked up the 190s a long time ago when they first came out, and there was no load data. Thankfully, they actually send along a little card now in each box of the bullets that has some load data on it. Before, I actually had to email Speer and say, hey, I just bought these, but there's no load data for it. So, you know, could you help me out? And so that was the route I had to go when I first purchased that 190 grain box. But yeah, so for this, in the .308, that's the first one listed on the card. And they've got 6 powders listed. And out of those 6, I think I have 4 of them. But the one I want to go with is Hodgdon Varget. I've got 2 pounds of that stuff that I've just kind of been sitting on. I don't really have anything else to use it for. And this is going to be a hunting load that I want to work up and try to take a deer with this particular load coming up this season. So I want to go with that one. I do have a few pounds of the CFE 223, so I could be pushing some higher velocities if I really wanted to. But in this case, if we just find a very accurate load, with this combination with Varget, that's going to do just fine. So there's the data, and I'm not going to go all the way to their published max, which is 42.7. I'm stopping at 42.2, so I'm a half grain below their published max charge. And I'm only jumping 0.2 of a grain on our powder charge, so I'm going down to 41.4. And so that's 41.4 up to 42.2. I'm only going to load 25. I'm doing 5-shot groups. And the reason for that is because these come in boxes of 50. And I bought 2 boxes. So I only have 100 of these guys to play with. I can just go buy more if I want to. But I really want to try to not just spend a ton of time on load development for this. Hodgdon Varget, very popular powder for .308. Really good option if you can get your hands on it. In this particular cartridge, somewhere around that 42 grain mark. That's typically what you'll see a lot of people recommend when it comes to like the I think it's the 168 grain, maybe even heavier than that, maybe the 175s. Either way, somewhere in that range, you're talking 40 some odd grains of Hodgdon Varget is typically what you'll see a lot of people recommend in the .308. So I've kind of got high hopes and expectations for this particular combination. I just seeded the 41.4 grain row. Now I'm switching over to the 41.6. I'm using a Hornady, a very rusty Hornady bullet seating die, and then I've got the micrometer adjustment on top. And yes, I can actually read the little scale on here. I know it's impossible for you to see on camera, but I can physically see it here looking at it in person. So, but yeah, just doing everything on the Mech Marksman. I picked up this press a while back, and it is just, it's rock solid. I can't say enough good things about this press. I've had 0 issues with it whatsoever. Lee, number 2, shell holder, and the little floating, that's the thing with the Marksman, you get like a floating shell holder retention system. So yeah, I have to seat these at 2.810 inches. That's the recommended overall length that that Speer has listed. So that's what we're going with. And one reason I would kind of direct you guys back to that 6.5 Creedmoor video that I posted, that I just posted about these guys, is I talk about, you know, kind of bullet construction and that type of thing in that video. So you guys go check that out if you're more interested in that. But this is essentially, in my opinion, the way I look at this is Speer's attempt or competitive offering for something like a Sierra tip Game King or Game Changer, whatever you're gonna call it, like a Nosler ballistic tip, AccuBond, that type of stuff. It should have pretty good weight retention. I think it says something like molecularly bonded, blah, 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 some other stuff, who knows. So we'll see. I mean, we're gonna put it to the test. It's their polymer tipped hunting bullet, right? For big game. So that's it. Y'all stay tuned for the range results. All right, so we're back at the bench. I want to go over the target and the results so far, because I'm not completely done with shooting these Speer Impact 172 grain bullets in the 308. Now, these are being shot out of the CVA Cascade, and I just did a video not too long ago on the Conus Pro scope that I have on top of it. I think it's the LS something or another. I have no idea. It's like I think it's a 2.5 to 10 power optic. I'm really enjoying that scope. The crosshairs a little bit thicker than I would like, but it's actually a really nice scope for the money, right? For what I picked it up on sale. So yeah, this is a sweet bullet, right? And I'm really wanting these things to shoot good out of my CVA Cascade, because I'd like to hunt with them this fall or this winter for some whitetail deer. The problem is, look at what I've written down so far. Terrible and terrible. So that kind of sums up. I've actually shot 3 of these, 3 groups. So and I'm going with, I mean, you can see what we're running here. Alpha Munitions brass, so premium brass. CCI 450, because it's small rifle primer brass, so I'm using CCI 450, so small rifle Magnum primers, and Varget. I mean, this stuff, it doesn't really get much better than that in terms of component level quality. So trying to assemble a really good hunting load using what I believe to be a really, really good hunting bullet, yeah, the results were not what I was expecting. We get you down. This target's pretty busy because I've shot it to death. But yeah, so look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was my very first 5-shot group that I tested in this bullet powder combination. You'll talk about a waste. I mean, I'm not even going to measure it. Yeah, I shot that and I'm going, okay. I mean, I was checking my scope. I was making sure everything was tight. I said, there's no way that this bullet, this powder combination, this brass, this particular rifle, this is not, you know, some Mossberg Patriot. This is not some, you know, Remington 783. This is not the budget of the budget, right? The CVA Cascade is not a cheap rifle. There's no way that it's shooting like this. So check everything. Everything checks out. So I go and I shoot the next group. Well, the next one, I mean, it's like this one. I didn't even number these, but it's like this one, this one, this one, this one. So, I mean, there's 4 right there. And then the 5th one was like right here. And I'm going, what in the world? So pretty much I came back. That was on one range trip. And so I came back and I really thought about pulling the bullets. I really did. And, oh wait, I've actually shot 4 of these groups. But I really thought about pulling the bullets, but I was like, you know what? I've already got them loaded up. This will be, you know, I'm going to post about it anyway. I'm going to make a video on it. So I might as well shoot all 25 of these. And in my opinion at the time, I was like, well, this is just going to be a waste of powder and time at the range, but might as well do it so I can gather the data, get the results, and try to make some sense of it. So I did that, shot the first couple groups, again, came home, really thinking about pulling the bullets, but I decided not to. Ended up shooting the next 2. Now this is, I've never seen a rifle change the way this one did with this particular load. Because, so what I did when I went back to the range, I took this same target. This was like the next day or a couple days later or something. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to waste shooting at any of these other dots and spraying bullets all over the place. I'm going to hold this was my same point of aim as I held for this crazy group here. I was like, I'm just going to hold here and shoot. Well, it was this one, and then these three. So it went from shooting this and this down to this, right? Which is still not great. Like, don't get me wrong, this is not some amazing group. I mean, it's still probably a 2-inch group, or maybe a little less. So that's still bad, don't get me wrong. But when you compare it to what it was doing, you know, with the 2 groups ahead of that, or just previous to that, that was a little while. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I've never seen groups tighten up quite like that. That's an extreme case. So let me shoot another group just to see if it'll be something similar to this, or if it'll go back to the garbage that I was seeing. And so I shot 5 more off over here. And of course I put 3, you know, almost off the target, essentially, off the target. But then I've got 2 here. So again, not great, not good at all, but a massive difference than this stuff here. So I don't know. So I've got one more group to test with this. I ran out of time at the range. It was just, man, it was like 100 degrees, and I needed to leave. I had to go run some errands and get some stuff done. So I was trying to let the barrel cool. And that was the other thing too, was I was at the range for a while trying to get some of this stuff shot, trying to get these next 2 groups shot. And then I had a bunch of other stuff, 300 Win short mag, 243 Winchester, you know, 270 Winchester, a bunch of stuff I was trying to get shot. And so I was, you know, another 308. So I was trying to let barrels cool and all that, and it's 100 degrees. So I was having to take forever in between shots. And so I ended up just running out of time. But I'm really interested to see what this 42.2 grain group looks like, because that is a dramatic change in group size. You know, that just blows my mind. I've never seen a change that dramatic. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I just keep going a little bit? Let's see, where's the sheet? I got it right here. I mean, should I just keep pushing higher, right? Since things were tightening up. I mean, is that what I should do? So here's the load data they send with the bullets. Varget, 42.7 is their max. I'm at 42.2, so we still have a half grain to go before we hit their max. I don't know. I mean, I guess I will, depending on how this last group, if this group shoots terrible, I don't know if I'm even going to mess with this anymore. I really don't want to waste Varget, so I don't know if I'll even explore this anymore in the 308. I may test this out in my buddy's 300 Win short mag that I'm also doing a project on right now. Haven't posted any videos about it, but those are going to be coming soon. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? I'm a little dumbfounded on this one. I've never seen groups go that bad, and that's not good. Don't get me wrong. How they're tightening up, you know, I put that in air quotes. It's not like that is good, but that's a massive difference between that's something like, hey, I want to go shoot some factory core lock ammunition, and then you go, okay, well, I did that. Well, now I'm over here shooting some hand loads, right? Shoot these 3 and they're hand loads. That would be the difference between some factory core lock and some hand loads, in my experience, right? This is just crazy. So, yeah, I don't know. I really want this stuff to shoot well, though. I really do, because this is going to be a great hunting bullet, great option to hunt with, and I'd really like to try that on some whitetail deer. So I don't know. We're off to a really rough start, but if you guys have used this bullet in 308, let me know what you've had success with, because I thought Varget would be a home run. I thought this combination would just shoot lights out, and it is not the case at all. I do have some CFE 223 So I could try that if I wanted to push that velocity just a little bit higher. That's one of their better velocity options, so I could use that as well. I don't know. What do you guys think? Y'all let me know. So that's it. That's where we're going to leave it for now. I am going to go back, shoot this last group, see how it does, and if it tightens up even more and is somewhat promising, then I probably will just go ahead and continue to push just a little bit further, get up to max, may even go above max. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see what the pressure looks like when I get up to that 42 point, what was it, 42.7? Yeah, when I get up to 42.7. So that's it. That's where we're going to leave it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you didn't, leave a comment. And if you did enjoy it, leave a comment as well. I welcome all feedback because I don't care. So y'all have a good one. We'll catch you next time.